Hey, what's up? This is your girl Diamond. This is a memorial video for Eric Nlemchi. I'm not really for sure how to pronounce his last name because it's some African shit that I just can't pronounce. Um, this is a celebration of his death, um, or homecoming, or whatever euphemism that you would like to use for death. This is a celebration of that. Um, it's going to be a long story. I said that I was going to tell this story a long time ago. I had a video about me having to take a P test when I was on probation. And I'm going to link the video here. And I said in that video that I was going to tell you guys why I was on probation. And this is the video explaining why. So this is a long story. So I know some of you guys love long stories. So this is one of those. So get your sandwiches ready, get your popcorn, get your wine, get whatever that you want to drink. This is a long, dramatic, messy ass story that I have been wanting to tell y'all, but I didn't know. I have many reasons, so I'll explain that within the story. So here's the story. I moved to Houston in 2007. I was in a relationship, but it was a very tumultuous relationship, and we had broke up. And once I got on my feet and got my own place and everything like that, when I first came to Houston, I didn't feel like dealing with the drama of my boyfriend, so I broke up with him. This was in February of 2008. I was new to Houston, so I really didn't have somebody that I knew could really put it down and do what I needed to do with no strings attached. Okay? So I was in the process of looking for that man. So I was, a panther on the prowl, looking for something that was just my type, for just my type of fun. Early on in my search, I was really meeting a lot of guys who were just not right. When you're looking for a fuck buddy, they need to have the look, they need to have the stamina, and they need to have the openness to do exactly what you want them to do. A fuck buddy, it should never be something just about them. I know sometimes when you fall in love or you love a guy for reasons outside of the sex, there's shortcomings you can kind of deal with because, oh, he pays bills, or oh, he loves me and he spends time with me. So his sex doesn't have to be 100%. But when it comes to a fuck buddy, they have to be 100% because you are a fuck buddy. You are specifically in my life to get me off. Okay? I had met this guy, his name was Jordan, and he was 6'5", and I met him like at a gas station. We exchanged numbers. He had some good conversation, and I invited him over. Soon as he came into my house, he pulled out a pack of cocaine and asked me for a spoon so he can snort it up his nose. Now, this is within the first 2 minutes of him coming over my house. Absolutely gorgeous, but a cokehead. Inappropriate. So he can't be my fuck buddy. Met another guy. His name was, I can't remember his name because it was so brief. Met another guy. Everything was right. His body was right. His piece was right. But he came in like a minute. Inappropriate. You're out. So I keep meeting these dudes that just did not fit what I needed them to do. They just didn't have all the qualities. And like I said, there was only 3 qualities that I require. You have to have the look, you have to have the stamina, and you have to have the openness to do what I like. Okay? So finally, I am on, y'all remember this site called Black Planet? It's not popular now, but it used to be. But I'm on Black Planet, and I see this guy, and he is so gorgeous. Just gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. Just my type of gorgeous. Now, let me explain to you what my type is. I like dark chocolate men, more than likely darker than me. Like, they can be light skinned, but the further from me, the better. I think it's really sexy when I'm on a man and I can see the contrast in their skin. It's something about that is sensual and sexy to me. I love a dark man. I love it. I love a tall man. I love a man with like a basketball build. Not really bulky, cocky, but very toned abs, arms, chest. Just everything is really toned and nice. That is my favorite type of man. Tall, dark, and that with full lips. I love sexy, soft, full lips. That is... So I see this guy on Black Planet, and his name is E-Man86. He hit me up, and I kind of would throw him to the left, even though he was my total type. I was going through this mental stage where I didn't want to trick everybody or whatever, you know. So I just kind of played him to the left. So over time, he would still hit me up, but because the conversation was so brief and short, you know, it didn't grow into something. So one day I was on another site. Now that particular site is a heterosexually based site, Black Planet. I was on another site called BGC, which is the site for the LGBT community, specifically transgender and gay males. And you know, I'm on that site and I get a message from somebody who has no pictures on their page, who has no description, who has nothing. And in their message, they say, "Oh my God, I did not know that you were a tranny." And I say, "Okay, who is this?" And he was like, "This is E-Man86 from Black Planet." I was like, "Oh, yay." In my mind, I was like, "Oh, why are you on this site?" And he goes through the process of, he's like, send me your number, hit me up, da 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 da. So I was like, this is weird. So of course, my natural reaction, usually if I meet some guy on that site, is to, you know, start, you know, running past my rates at this time, you know, to ask him for some money or something. You know, that's my normal thing, especially around this particular time. But remember, you know, I was looking for somebody to fill that fuck buddy position. And he would have been perfect. You're exactly what I need. So I call him and we talk on the phone, and he tells me about his first time experience with a trans woman or whatever. So he said that they had messed around. He had met her in New Jersey, and he had messed around. He had done it before, and he hadn't done it again since her. You know, and it was great that I was a trans. He didn't know I was trans when he was hitting me up on Black Planet, but now, wow, this is great. So let's hook up. So, you know, we end up planning it for like the coming week, and he ended up coming over to my house. I was so geeked up because it's just, I'm like, I've had all these bad, whack ass experiences with these guys in Houston. Everybody's on drugs. Everybody's, you know, just not right. I hope this is right. I'm so excited. I'm so excited that, you know, and I hate the way my apartment was built. If they park in a certain area, I can't see them until they get actually by the door. So unfortunately, he parked in the area where I couldn't see him. So I'm looking out the window like all that kind of stuff, really excited about him coming over or whatever. So I really couldn't, but I couldn't see where he parked. So he finally gets in the he finally gets by the gate of my apartment's door, and when I was waiting to see him pull up, as soon as he come around, he sees me peeking in the window, and I hurry up and close the door. Lame as hell, but I was just so excited about him coming. You know, I heard him and go to the door, and he comes. He was like, "Man, you was peeking out the window?" I was like, "I didn't know when you was coming," and, you know, I'm trying to play it off not to feel lame or whatever. He started laughing, and he was like, "Yeah, you was excited about me coming, huh?" And I was like, of course, I've been wanting to meet you, and I'm so glad that you were on, that site, so I didn't have to go through the process of telling you what I was and all that kind of stuff. This kind of eliminated everything or whatever. When he would hit me up, I would be so dry that he thought that I wasn't interested in him, and it kind of did something to his ego, and he went into all this process, and I was like, well, it really wasn't nothing about that. I was interested, but because I am what I am, I can't, sometimes I don't want to have to go through the issues. And he was like, it's all good. So, of course, one thing leads to another. Now, mind you, when we were on the internet, he did not want to discuss anything on there. He wanted me to call him. So that's where we discussed on the phone. But we didn't really discuss sexual expectations. Okay? While we're watching the movie, one thing leads to another. So we end up going to the back room. We get back there and we're doing the foreplay stuff, kissing, he's sucking on my titties, and we're in the heat of the moment, right? I start taking off his clothes, and I keep condoms by my on my headboard, so that's always ready. I'm ready to go. Everything is ready to go. I knew you was coming over, so I done prepared myself for these type of activities. So we ready. I pull his pants down, and oh Lord, not only are you fine, but you got what I need you to have. You got this meat popping off. It's rock hard. It's ready. It's chocolate. It's beautiful. Everything is just right. He's like 6'4". Everything is just right. There's nothing wrong. What can go wrong in this situation? Yay! But remember, I have not talked about sexual expectations. So, I start gobbling that meat. As soon as I see that, I'm like, I'm about to wear this out. So I'm wearing it out. The type of trans woman that I am, there's different types of trans women. Just like any person in the world, we all like different things sexually. I'm the type of person that I am a bottom. I love to be the person who is being penetrated. Okay? That is my favorite position. But I also love receiving oral sex. Okay? So I love to have my sheenus sucked. I love it. That's my favorite thing. That is how I get off. Because unfortunately, I'm not. Some transgender women say that they can. That's fine. More power to you, baby. Mwah. You're blessed. But I cannot get off from somebody just fucking me. This is how I get my nut, is from oral sex from guys. I had done this many times before with guys, and while I am sucking his dick, I stop and I say, all right, my turn. But remember, we had not discussed sexual expectations. So let this be a lesson to you ladies. Discuss sexual expectations. So he says, what you mean, your turn? And I was like, it's your turn to do me. And he was like, oh, nah, I can't do that. I don't do that. You don't do what? He was like, oh, I don't suck dick. That's gay. Oh, okay. Well, let me put my clothes back on. Because that's what I like. So, I'm sorry that we didn't discuss this before you came, but we not sexually compatible. So I'm gonna have to. I had a great time with you. You sexy, and I apologize that I know you came here to hook and get your nut, but there's no way that I'm gonna sit here and finish sucking your dick, or let you fuck me, or let you do anything extra and get your nut and I'm not about to get mine. So we need to stop this right here before we go any further. And, put my clothes on. So I get up off the bed and start putting my motherfucking clothes back on. Because, I think that's fair. You're not about to be my fuck buddy and I'm not going to get off. Simple as that. Simple as that. What the fuck? And you're not paying me? It'd be different if you was giving me some coins. If I'm getting some coins out of you, cute. You can get all that you want. Holla. Well, not all of them. As many that can fit in the time frame that you paid for. So anyway, when I start putting my clothes on, he says, wait. Hold up. Don't put your clothes on. Fuck it. Come on. I say, okay. And I take my clothes back off and I lay down. And he starts to do me. Now, unfortunately, the unfortunate thing about having somebody do this to you is that if it is their first time, they don't know what they are doing. Okay? Which is unfortunate. Because this head was pretty whack. It was decent. Like, you can tell this is his first time doing it. But it was like, nigga, you ain't never gonna make me nut sucking it like that. This is garbage. But because he was so hot and he was doing it, it still was turning me on. It wasn't turning me off. It still was turning me on. So I say, fuck it. All right, baby. That's enough. And I'll just lay him down and I start riding him and bends over doggy style. We don't need all the details of that. And we fuck. He fucks me, of course. I don't fuck him. But it's a lovely session. He laughs. The stamina was love. His stroke game was right. Everything was like heaven. Let me not say heaven. Everything was like paradise. Everything was right. His foreplay, how he sucked on my titties while he was fucking. And nothing was boring. Everything was exciting. Nothing was expected. He ate my ass. He just did everything that I like for a man to do in the process of the session. And this was a home run. This was a home run for Diamond Style, sweetie. Finally in Houston, somebody delivers. So I was so excited. So just feeling great about this situation. Just feeling great. Anyway. We stopped the session. We're done with the session. He nuts. He couldn't get me off from the oral, so I had to masturbate while he was doing me. I got my nut, and we went back in there to finish watching the movie. So we cuddled up, both of us feeling love like we married or something. So he's like, man, he was like, so do you got a boyfriend? I was like, well, I'm kind of separated from my boyfriend now, but I'm pretty sure that we're probably going to get back together because at this point, me and my boyfriend, we had our issues, but he was really the only person who was really in my corner at that moment who would help me in certain specific situations that really just had my back. So I really was planning on I wasn't planning on stop messing with him. We were just angry at each other. So I wasn't planning on breaking up with him, even though we were separated. So, and I was, like I told him, I was like, I'm pretty sure we're going to get back together. And he was like, well, where your boyfriend live at? And I was like, oh, he don't live with me. And he was like, oh, well, that ain't your motherfucking man if he don't live with you. And I was like, no, I'm telling you, you don't have to live with a man for him to be your man, nigga. And he was like, I was like, but, if he came and knocked on the door right now, I would tell you to leave. That just keeping it 100. Now, this is how we're talking to each other. And I was like, I would tell you to leave, And he was like, man, you would put me out like that after the situation, after what we just did? And I was like, it's not that, I'm telling you, that was bomb. I loved it. It was all good. We obviously got the chemistry, but I've been with this dude for like 4 years, and I don't plan on, even though we separated now, I don't plan on leaving him. You feel what I'm saying? Because, we have some history, and, I'm just hooking up with you. So it's nothing against you. It's just that, it's nothing against you. And so he's like, well, how much money dude make? And I say, he makes about like 78 a year. 78,000 a year. And he was like, shit, I make 200,000 a year. Now, this guy right now is 23 years old. I was at the time 26. But this is a regular ass, Houston ass 22-year-old. There's nothing about you, how you dressed, or about you that tells me that you make 200,000 a year at 22. So when he says it, I say, oh, okay. Okay, it doesn't matter. And I say, well, it doesn't really matter. I don't care how much money you make. That doesn't really have nothing to do with me. And, I don't care how much you make. Because at the end of the day, I've had history with this dude. So it doesn't really matter. Let's just leave this situation alone. He says, nah, you don't believe me? Let me show you. He wanted to he gets up to get on my computer. Because we're watching a movie from my computer. And he gets up to go on my computer to, I don't know if he wanted to log into his bank account or what. I don't know what he wanted to do. But he wanted to prove to me that he made $200,000 a year. I tell him, when he gets up, I get up. And he puts his hand on my mouth to, how to get the screen to wake up or whatever, you put the hand on the mouse and move it. So that's what he was doing. And as soon as he did that, I got up and took my hand. I didn't smack it, hold it down hard or nothing. I just got up, put my hand on his hand and said, you do not have to do this. When I do that, he snatches his hand back and jumps up in my face and says, don't put your motherfucking hands on me like that. I say, hold up. I don't know where this just turned, but in 3 seconds, this just went from fun, loving fun, to you are physically threatening me in my own house. Sweetheart, you are tripping. Calm down. I didn't put my hands on you. I'm just telling you, you don't have to show me that you make $200,000 a year. While I'm talking, I am slowly moving around him in order to get to my bedroom where my gun is. Okay? When I move around him, he reaches around me, grabs me around my neck. Now, mind you, let me tell y'all what time it is in the morning. It is 7 o'clock, in between 7 o'clock in the morning and 7:30. He got there to my house around 8 o'clock that night. So this whole time, we've been spending time together. I have no clothes on. I am but birthday suit naked. He has on his clothes because when he came out the room, he put his clothes on because if he was leaving, he wasn't leaving his clothes in my back room. So he put his clothes on and we were cuddling while I was naked next to him. That's how we were. So he reaches around me. and started to choke me and drag me out of my apartment. This is the first time in my life. When I was younger, when I would hear about women getting raped, I never knew how it was possible. Now, let me explain why I say that. Because I always felt like you could wiggle and move to where the guy couldn't put his dick in you. I always felt like this situation that I couldn't understand how somebody could just get on top of you and rape you when you can move around to where they can't do it. That's what, in my imagination, I hadn't realized, I hadn't experienced someone overpowering me yet until this situation. I couldn't fucking get away from this dude. Like, for all the power that I could fluster in me, I couldn't get away from him. You know, I just don't know. So I don't know how I could. I don't know. So it taught me a lesson in the sense of that somebody really can overpower you. So while he was choking me, prior to him coming, I was eating an orange, and the orange was on my when you remember when I told y'all that I was looking out the window and I was peeking at him to come in that little awkward moment. Well, when I was looking out the window, I had the knife in my hand from me cutting my orange. And when I ran to the door to open the door, I set it down on my coffee table, my computer desk that was my coffee table that was right by my door. I'm so glad that happened, because I don't know what would have happened in that situation if that knife was not there. He reached around he was choking me and opened my door to drag me out at 7 o'clock in the morning. Now, I lived in the hood at this time. 7 o'clock in the morning is when kids are going to get on their bus. So I hear the kids, and I can't scream because I'm being choked. I can't breathe because I'm being choked. And I'm butt naked. And here, I know kids are out here. I don't want whatever's about to happen. I don't want this situation to happen. Whatever. I don't want to be out of my house butt naked. I don't want any of this situation to be this situation. So I reach out because I can't get him off of me. I reach out. I see it, and I reach out for the knife, and I just start gagging him like this. I cut him to where he ends up letting me go. Now, I'm not fully outside, but the door is open to where his back is to the door. When he drops me, I get up with the knife, and he closed the door back. Like, he doesn't leave out of my apartment. He just closed the door back and was like, stop, because I'm stabbing him. He says, stop, I'm sorry. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, what the fuck just happened? I didn't understand why this situation went so far. Like, how did this get so ugly how did it turn from you beating my cakes to smithereens where I'm feeling love, and to you choking me to where I'm feeling like Rihanna? I don't understand. How did it get this ugly? What happened? What the fuck is wrong with you? He was like, man, that wasn't me. And I was like, what the fuck you mean? You a fucking schizo? Like, what is going on? And he was like, man, you think you tried. He said, I was trying to, because he was 22 and I was 26, he said that I was trying to degrade him by not thinking that he made not thinking that he made $200,000. And I was like, dude, I don't give a fuck what you made. I wasn't trying to degrade you. I didn't give a fuck. I was just fucking you. I don't, honestly, on the back part, looking back at it on hindsight, I swear to you, I was so angry about the fact that you just ruined this beautiful night for me, because I know for a fact that I will never have you over my house again. Because you just proved to me that you could overpower me, I will never have you over my house again. Never. So this good, luxurious dick that I just had, I'll never get to have again. So I'm actually shitty about that, because you actually just didn't hurt me with the choking and that kind of shit. That didn't actually hurt me. What just hurt me is that you ruined this beautiful night. That's just keeping it real. And I say, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out of my house. And he was like, nah, you gotta listen. You gotta listen. That wasn't me. That wasn't me. Who the fuck was it then? It's not. It's you. You and me. It's the only motherfuckers in here. He was like, you know what the fuck I'm mad? You know what the fuck I'm mad? I'm mad because you made me suck your dick. What? I didn't make you do anything. You made that decision. I told you that I was going to put my clothes back on. You didn't have to do it. You knew I wanted to fuck you. At the end of the day, you made the choice to do it. You wanted to do that. So that was what you were required to do all that stuff that we did. And you didn't have a problem with it afterwards. You were sitting here chilling with me on the fucking couch. How do you get crazy like this? He was like, man, I never did that fucking shit before. Get the fuck out of my house. Get your crazy Looney Tune ass Sybil motherfucking ass out of my house. Get out of my house. No, I'm not going nowhere. Oh, you going some motherfucking where out of here. And I go right to my back where I'm going to get my gun. By the time I come back with my gun, he's the fuck up out of my house. I sit down and I recollect on what just happened. I got some fucking bruises because I'm light-skinned girl, so I bruise easily. I got some fucking bruises all over my back and neck and some scratches, cuts and shit. I'm just devastated about him fucking up this good dick that I just had earlier too. Anyway, so that's just the beginning of the story. And I'm sorry it's 40 minutes, but girl, I told y'all this was a long one. So, this whole night, for the rest of the night, he's texting me, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I don't know what the fuck happened. That shit was fucked up. I don't know. I apologize. Man, don't be shitty at me. I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I say, dude, stop texting my phone. You are crazy. You are crazy. So, for that whole next 2 weeks, he would text me saying he was sorry and that I should give him another chance. He is so sorry. He don't know what the fuck is wrong with him. He was tripping. Blah, 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 blah. Stop talking to him. It was all over or whatever. So, I'm driving. Me and my homegirls. It's like 4 of us. And we are driving around, scumming the streets, going shopping, going to get our nails done, doing all this fun, crazy stuff. This is about 2 or 3 months later. And in the process of us driving around, we are talking about crazy ass trade. So I start talking about that situation. So I'm talking about the crazy situation, and I say his name, and da 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 da. And when I say his name, I start telling the story. When I say his name, one of the girls in the car say, Eric, does he drive a black Charger? And I was like, he did say he drove a black Charger. And the other girl said, Eric. Now everybody in this car is Trini. They said, Eric. Oh, we know him. They lifted up. They got on their phones, and each one of the Trinis in the car showed me a message from him. So basically, he's a Trini chaser in the city. Gag at that. But the consensus of all the girls in the car they all said, oh my God, you made Eric suck your dick? And I'm like, yeah, that's what they have to do to me. And they was like, oh, hell no. Wow. They just was gagged that he did that. I was gagged that he was such a chaser and everybody knew him. But how they describe him like he's really arrogant. He's really come in, fuck, and leave. He's all the elements of my story was not like theirs. Like, first of all, the hanging out and chilling, none of them had that story with him. The oral sex part, none of them had that story with him. And all of them had an element of arrogance that he didn't show me. He didn't give me any kind of arrogance. And now, I don't know if it's because I was cute too or what, but he didn't give me any of that kind of arrogance in his demeanor. He was down to earth and cool and funny and comical and nice in the beginning and the middle. All of that, it was just totally different. He just was cool. He was a cool guy. So I'm gagged in the car with the girls, but that's not abnormal. There's Trini chasers that'll get you. So 6 months later, I get a message from Eric on BGC. And he says, he hits me up and is like, look, I have sent you texts. I have apologized to you. I have said over and over and over that, that wasn't me. I overreacted in that situation, and I apologize. That when we hooked up, it was the bomb. I was the bomb. You was the bomb. We just had, good sex together. Let's get past that situation. You was just looking for a fuck buddy. Let's just do that. Dude, you are absolutely nuts. I don't know why it's not getting through your head, but you are crazy. And I will never have you ever again. I will never have you in my house. I will never be around you in any type of situation because I do not trust you. You are a Looney Tune, and you better be glad that I don't have anybody here with me in Houston because I would do something to you because I feel punked by that situation. He sends me a message back saying, first of all, you need to watch your mouth because you remember what happened the last time. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, so not only are you crazy, you think it's cute. You think it's cute that what happened. Okay, cute. All right. Now that you've made this declaration of war, now that you just threatened me again, now I'm going to get you. I don't know how I'm going to get you, but I'm going to get you. And I sent him back, all right, sweetie. Well, show me what you got. Blocked. And I blocked him. I know I was going to get him in some kind of way. I don't know how. At that moment, I didn't know how, but I was going to get you. Okay. So that was 6 months later. The crazy incident happened in January. The incident with the girlfriends all in the car happened 2 months later, probably in April. Him hitting me up happened in like June or July. So 6 months after. So July after that. 2 months after that, my best friend, you guys know her from my old videos, Ty, moves into my apartment with me. She wanted to start her new life here in Houston. And, I let her come stay with me till she got on her feet. Of course, every tranny chaser in the country, in the city, not the country, in the city, start hitting her up because she's new. She's the new girl from out of town, so they start hitting her up. So, in that situation, I had already, because she's one of my best friends, I've already told her about this situation. She knows what he looks like, blah, 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 blah. So she wakes me up one morning, and this is in November. She wakes me up one morning, and she says, I'm not for sure, but I think this dude is on the way. The dude you got into it with is on the way over here. And she was like, because I'm just thinking about it. She was like, he looked familiar, but I really wasn't for sure if I had talked to him before. But now it's coming back to me that I think that I just invited this dude over here. And she wakes me up, and I go and look at the picture, and I say, yeah, that's him. I was like, he's on the way over here? And she was like, yeah. Now, mind you, I live in the same apartment that I lived in. Understand that. Same apartment. So, him coming to my apartment, the same exact apartment that we got into it, he had to know that we knew each other. That we know each other and that this is my place. He had to know that. But he still came anyway. So he was like, fuck it. Cute. So I put on my sweatpants, wife beater. I'm ready to twirl. So I'm sitting at the computer. She's talking to him on the phone, directing him here. He comes in the door like nothing has happened between us before. He comes in and he's smiling. It's funny. All right. So he's smiling, and I was like, oh, this is the dude you're going to meet? And she was like, yeah, this is Eric. And I was like, he's not welcome in my motherfucking house. And he says, you still tripping about that shit? He was like, man, don't be tripping. I didn't even come. I come to holler at her. Don't even worry about it. I don't give a fuck who you came to holler to. This is my motherfucking house, and you're not welcome here. But I'm glad you came. I reach right over in the corner and get this bat. Let me show you the bat. See that chunk that's hit out of it? This is the infamous bat. Got this bat. Bam. Start busting him. Boom. Boom. He tries to run out to his car. Oh, you're trying to run to your car. Well, I can bash your car. And that's how this got in here. The gash. Car. Boom. Boom. So I'm wearing the car out. He don't really want to wear his little precious little charger out. So he gets out and tries to stop me. Bamming him. Next thing I see is Ty come out. Boom. She's bashing him. So both of us is just wearing him out. My gay son, y'all might not, do I got a video with my gay son? Y'all haven't seen the one that stayed with me at the time. But he comes out. Now, my gay son is a football player. And he's 6'3", 6'4". And, you know, he's the same size as this nigga. So we all are just giving this dude the unadulterated ass whooping of his life. I'm sure he's never had an ass whooping like this. We are wearing him out. I got the bat. Ty is giving him the mitts. She got something that she bashing him with. My gay son is bashing him. Boom, 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 boom. He a football player, a man. We are just wearing him out so badly that the people in my complex office were outside just staring and watching. All my neighbors were outside staring and watching. He starts crying and saying, "Call the police. One of y'all call the police," to my neighbors. My neighbors look at him and say, "Man, we not calling nobody. Them is our neighbors. Nigga, we ain't calling no motherfucking police. You taking this ass whooping. You shouldn't have been fucking with him." So the manager of the apartment was like, "What's going on? Why are y'all fighting?" And I say, "This is the dude who broke in my house a couple of months ago." And they were like, "Oh, go ahead." Because I was cool with them too. And this was a hood, a complex. So you in the wrong place to try to get some help, boo-boo. So we're still twirling him. Still twirling him out of his motherfucking mind. He's up against the fence. My gay son just got him up against the fence. I'm bashing him. I'm bashing him up top. Boom, boom, boom. My gay son is like this. Boom, 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 boom. Wearing him out. Just bashing him. All I know is my best friend's high. She has the bat and she coming behind the fence. He's up against the fence. And she takes the bat and says, boom. And all I see was from the top of his head, blood just start gushing down his face. Once I see that, like the rage of me extinguishes itself. And I'm like, hold on. This is getting ugly. This is getting ugly. And is this worth us going to prison for? Once that image of his face getting bashed with that bat and how ugly this and how his face was just so devastated that he is getting wore out like this. It was like just bashed out of his mind. He does not understand that this type of bashing. I'm sure. So I say, yo, stop hitting him with the bat. Ty, calm down. Son, it's okay. Calm down. You, nigga, get the fuck up out of here. Get in your motherfucking car and get the fuck up out of here. You got this ass whooping. You remember the last time you told me that remember what happened last time? Remember what happened this time. Get the fuck up out of here. So, he bashed and bloody and going to his car. Everybody is looking at him. Silence is amongst the people. And he looks at everybody and say, I can't believe that y'all just let them do this to me. Bashed. Thank you. Get the fuck up out of here. So, his car is bashed. His window is bust. His tail lights is bust. His car is wore out. Everything, car and him, bloody, wore out. Get that picture. And he drives off. 2 hours after the situation, he sends us a text message about how he's about to come back and wreck shop or whatever. And I sent him a text message back with me and my motherfucking rifle. Well, if you want to go there, if you don't just want to take that ass whooping like a champ and you want to make it worse, then let's do it. Because at this point, it's already done got super ugly. So if you come back over here, it's going down. Let's wear it out. We can wear it out. He don't come like a hoe. He's a hoe. 2 weeks later, we get a knock on the door. I open the door, and The detective asked for, "Can I speak to Diamond?" And I say, "This is Diamond." And the detective say, "Hey, Miss Diamond, we're coming to ask you some questions about an incident that happened a couple of weeks ago." I'm like, "Okay." The detective says, "Well, Eric Nlemchi says that we already been over to the office, and the office people gave us a statement about what happened to, and but Mr. Eric Nlemchi says that he came over here to see your friend, and when y'all told him that y'all were transsexuals, he said he was not down, and y'all got mad and tried to fight him because he was not down with the fact that y'all were transsexuals." What? Yes. He was not down with the transsexual thing, so y'all got mad and y'all fought him. Oh, is that what he told you? All right, well, let me show you our history. And I get right on my computer while the detective is here. Get right on my computer and go back to the whole year, from Black Planet to BGC to emails to old texts on my phone, because I don't erase shit. Everything to prove to him that this guy knew exactly what we were, and the only reason why we got into it the last time is because he gave me some head. That is the whole reason. The whole conversation on BGC, the whole conversation of everything that happened was proven, and my side of the story was proven through our conversation. Okay? Even the fight that happened, we talked about it. So the detective says, "Oh, so this nigga is a fag. Just a down low ass fag. And he's trying to use the system to play games. So fuck it. You stay right here. I'm about to take all this." He said, "Print that stuff off. I'm about to take this information back to my boss. And, we can make it. They're probably going to drop the charges since these are some bunch of lies anyway." So I was like, all right. So I really wasn't worried at the time. I really wasn't tripping about nothing. I wasn't tripping out. All my side of the story is proof. The state picks up the charges against me and charges me with assault and battery, because I did admit to beating his ass. I did admit it, and that was assault. So that is what it is. The detective ends up calling me. He calls me and says, "Look, I have to put the warrant out for your arrest, but I am not going to send a cop out to your house to pick you up. I want you to go down and do a non-arrest bond so you don't have to be arrested and go to jail." He was like, "I like you." Not like me, like that, but like my personality. Because when we were in there talking to him, he was cool. It was a cool detective. He was like, "I like your personality. I think you cool. And you don't need to be arrested. I don't like how this situation went down. So I want you to go down and fill out a non-arrest bond." Now, what a non-arrest bond is you don't get arrested. You just go do a bond before and not go to jail. You just go give them your fingerprint and da-da-da-da-da-da. So the court stuff starts to happen. I have to go to court. That happened in November. I have to go to court in March. In March, I go to court. They say because I have a job that I can't have a public defender. That's how Texas is. I can't have a public defender, so I have to pay a lawyer. I didn't want to pay a lawyer because I can defend myself. I can show y'all the evidence that this didn't happen. This didn't happen how he says it happened. And he's still texting my phone. Even to this court date, he's still texting my phone, trying to hook up and have sex with me. He's still texting me after the ass whooping. After the ass whooping. Still sending me messages saying that it didn't have to go this far. And he's saying, And I'm telling him that if you go to court, I'm going to show them exactly what all that happened. Do you think you're going to be sitting there in that courtroom when I talk about you giving me some head? He was like, I'm not going to no motherfucking court. He already said he's not going to go to court. So I already know that he's not going to go to court. So this is the only witness that the state have. You feel what I'm saying? So what you going to do? You feel what I'm saying? I feel like I can beat the case. So I don't want to pay for no lawyer. But they forced me to pay for a lawyer. So I paid $300 for a lawyer. We come to court. They're saying the state is wanting to charge. If I don't take the plea is to be on probation for a year and pay a fine. If I take the plead guilty and take that. Or they're going to try to charge me with a felony. They can take the plea. I can take the plea for the misdemeanor, or they're going to try to, if I take it to trial, they're going to try to charge me with a felony. So I was like, but the lawyer said, well, I think you can beat it, but it's just, can you afford the trial charges? The trial charges is $2,500 to take it to trial. The fine for the plea is $250. The total cost of being on probation and the fine and the court fees and the lawyer would be $1,200 over time. But to do the trial, I would have to pay $2,500. It was cheaper for me to do the probation. And Texas has a law that if it's your first and only court case, first and only charge, if you go through the process, anger management and the probation without any issues, they'll drop it from your record, your first charge. They'll drop it from your record. So I can be cheaper and I can get this off my record after I do the probation. I went ahead and signed a plea and got on probation for a whole year. So, went to anger management, had to do P tests, all the issue. I told y'all the video about the P test is funny as hell. I had to do all this fucking shit out of pocket. Not to mention, I had like tons of overdraft fees on my account because sometimes I couldn't actually afford it. It ended up costing me about a total, instead of being the $1,200, of all the ramifications that happened from me having to go to probation and go to anger management and go to all this stuff. I couldn't afford so many things that I was overdrafting my account so many times, and it ended up costing me way more than it was worth. So this video, yes, it is a celebration of the homecoming of Eric Nlemchi. But it is also because he died in a biking accident in July of this year. It is also a celebration of those rare moments when karma allows you to see when she comes back around. Thank you all for watching. This is your girl Diamond. Have a good day.